Well, hi everyone. Well, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do something really different. Uh, I've got this project almost done, and my wife said, "You're going to publish that one, aren't you?" And I said, "No, not really. What we're going to do, we're going to make another bow tie spinner, but this one here, we're going to give it a little bit of an attitude. We're going to change the angle on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here real quick. I'll draw you the plan for it, and then we'll go in and we'll finish up the last of the bow ties and show you how to put it together. So this one's going to kind of parallel the first bow tie one we have, and so hopefully you'll give them both a look, and maybe in the comment section send me a little note which one you like best, whether you like the one that's straight or you like this one with a little bit of an attitude towards it. So let's get started here. So we got our drawing board here. We're going to take and we're going to find the center of this sheet again here, 8.5 by 11. So we're going to go to 5.5 right here by 4.25. And we're just going to take, we're going to make our cross line here. We're going to make our up line right here. So this gives us our center for our project. And this, we're going to use the same dimensions as we used on the other bow ties. So these are both 4.5 inches across this way here, 4.5. This one here is going to be 4.5. And we'll just give us a couple up lines right here. Make sure your T-square is down straight. All right. And in the middle here, it's going to be 2 inches, just like we had before. So I'm going to go here 1 inch. And I'm going to go here 1 inch for a total of 2 inches right there. So we can take and make us a couple little marks right here. Here and right here. And these are going to come out here. We're going to come out just like we did with the other one. These are going to be 4 inches out here. So we're going to have 2 inches on this side, 2 inches on this side. We don't have to mark this side over here. We'll just put our T-square in here and we'll come over here and mark it using that mark right there. Now, these are going to come together like this, just like we did before. So like I said before, this is really paralleling the other one. That was one reason why I didn't think I was going to make a video on this, and my wife said she thought we should. So here it is. We're going to see how this comes out, and we'll see which one you guys like the best. All right. Okay, so this makes our original bow tie, just like we had before. But here now, if you remember in the first one, we ran this straight up and down. This one here, we're going to come up here at 1/4 inch, right here. And we're going to come over here at 1/4 inch, right here. And we're going to put our bow ties on an angle. It's going to sit, so these will turn sideways just a little bit. On the ends here, we're going to do the same thing as we did before. We're going to come down here 3/4, 3/4 over here. We'll go get our 3-pound coffee can. I'll show you what we're going to do with that real quick. Put that in there, put that in there. I'll be right back. Let me get the can that I'm going to use to make the circle there. All right, we're back. So I've got our 3-pound coffee can now. So if you remember the other one, we did the same thing. We marked this 3/4, 3/4, and then we're going to bring this up right to the edge of our 3/4 mark. And we're going to use this. Whoops, just threw my pencil on the floor. That wasn't too helpful. We're going to take and we're going to mark this right around here. And we'll slide this down. We're going to do the same thing here. Just like that. So that's our project. So let's put some dimensions on here real quick so it makes a little bit more sense here. So between here and here is really, let's go right here to the half mark is 4 1/2 inches right there. Same thing over here. This one here, from here to here, is going to be 4 inches. That's 4 inches. Here again, this one in here. Two inches. And this, we're going to mark this here. This is going to be a little tricky right here. From here to here is going to be 1/4 inch. Same way here. Here to here, 1/4 inch. So basically, we're tilting this up and down piece a 1/2 inch overall. So that'll give you an idea of what we're going to do here. So I've already put the jig together. We did the jig the same as we did on the other one. So I'd recommend, if you open this one up and you want to get started or give this a try, watch the other video first and then come back and watch this one if you like it with a little bit of an attitude. So we'll be back in a minute. I'll show you what we're going to do. Like I said before, this is kind of starting the back end into this project, because I've already made all the pieces except for one. And so we decided we'd go ahead and we'll do a little quick video on this one. So hope you'll follow along and give me a little comment on which one you like best. So we'll be back in a second. All right, as you can see, we're back, and like I said before, this is at the tail end of the assembly part of this. So this is the last one that I have to make. I've already made 6 of them, so we're going to use 7 just like we did in the other bow tie. But this will be the bow tie with an attitude. So anyway, you can see here on the form here, I've taken and put this on an angle. So we're going to use our same brass tubing. It's an 1/8 inch. Has a 3/32 piano wire in it, and it's going to fit in here just like this. And then we're going to use our H-came. This is RH9. RH8 will work the channels just a little bit narrower. RH9 is a little hard to find sometimes, so I've used this over the years and enjoy using it because it has a wider channel, so you can get a 4mm glass in it. Normal art glass is around 3mm, so it works pretty good. So anyway, these are going to sit in here like this, just like we did with the other ones. Get this angle just right. There we go. These will sit in here, wrap around our brass tubing. And then we're going to use our U-came here. This is our RU70. This is the U-came we've been using on all the projects. And it's going to go right in here. We'll insert our first piece of glass. Goes right here. Here again, this is our H-came, RH9. Get it setting in here. Bring it down. We'll come over to the other side. We'll do the same thing. Again, we're going to insert a centerpiece. Just like that. Make sure tap it, make sure it goes in all the way against our H-came here. And then here again, we're going to use the RU70 around the outside back edge. We bent this curve here on that same coffee can that we made the radius to start with. And so it's cut on an angle here. So the angle just goes in here and snaps right around it. We'll take and pin it. We'll come over here and do the same thing. We'll do this real quick on this side too. So we're going to slide our H-came or our U-came down. Insert our glass piece here. Here again, we'll put our H-came. Slide this down here where it's got a little bit of angle cut on it so it lines up. Get your glass in, make sure you got it in all the channels. Just like that. Get your H-cam, and then we'll get ready. Watch your cam that it doesn't roll over on you, because if it rolls over on you, see how this one wants to keep going down? Make sure it's straight up and down. If you have trouble with it not staying straight up and down, you can always put a pin in it to hold it. It gives you a third hand there. So anyway, we're going to start down here. When I get it close to my pin, I'll just take my pin out, and I'll just bring this on down here, and it fits right in there just like that. Check your lead here and make sure it's up tight. Here again, we'll bring our end piece over, put it in. We'll take and pin it, and then we'll get ready to solder it. So I'll come back, I'll get soldering iron plugged in, I'll come back and make sure all these are pushed up tight. Make sure there's no gap here. You want to be sure that these are close together, because when we solder these together, we don't want any solder bleeding through and trap our brass tubing, because we're going to use, that's how we're going to put this together, is we're going to slide it down over the brass tubing. If you accidentally solder it to the brass tubing, you're going to have to unsolder it and pull that out, because otherwise you won't be able to get it together. So I'll show you that in a minute. So we'll get the soldering iron going, and when we come back, we'll show you how we're going to solder this all up, and then we'll put together the final project. So hope you followed along, and like I say, if you need to refer back to anything that you feel like we've missed here, take a look at the first one, the bow tie spinner, and it is in more detail than this one. All right, we're back. We got soldering iron all warmed up now, so we're ready to go here. So if you watch any of my other videos, I take a little stainless steel brush here, and I go over our lead joints right here. I want to clean up any oxidation or fingerprints that I may have put on it, so that the solder will flow nice and smooth. I'm using a gel flux here. This is called a Classic 100, and I like this one. It's water soluble, and it doesn't have any odor, and it doesn't smoke, so it's nice to work with. So just put a little flux on all your projects here. This one here needs to be moved over so we got some room here. The solder I'm using is a 60-40. I like that. It melts a little quicker than 50-50, and so I like to use that. And I'm using a Waller 100 watt soldering iron. Have a 700 degree tip in it, and I usually just take and tin it just a little bit, just like that, and then I can come back down here and I can start anywhere I want to go. I take about a 1/16 of an inch off of here, right off the end of my solder. If you have one that you don't like, you can come back and just add a little bit more solder to it. You can solder this solid across here if you want to, as long as it doesn't leak through and trap your brass tubing. Oop. All right, let's get this one right here just a little bit more. That looks a little bit better. All right, that's all there is to that. So I'll pull it out now and turn it over, and we'll solder the other side. And then when I come back, these ends that are sticking out here, I'll show you really quick what we're going to do to those. And then the project will be pretty much done. I'll show you how we're going to put it together. So we'll be back in a minute here. All right, we're back. So we got both sides soldered up now. So these ends, we need to do something with them. And we're going to do this like we've done with all the other videos we've done. We're going to take and cut this off about 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to come inside here and we're going to clip it. Come around the side here and we're going to cut this to a point. Just like that. And then we're going to take this point and we're going to put on the edge of our work table and we're going to bend it over. So I'll just bend it over real quick. And what that does, that fills up that gap right there so that you don't have to put a big bunch of solder in there. So we're going to do the same thing here. That one's just about the right size right there. Here again, here again. Just give it a little snip. Cut this off. Here again, bend that in. So it gives you the two ends plugged up now. So we'll take and normally I would put this in my drill vise and solder these. I'm going to show you another little jig that works pretty good. So we'll cut these two here while we're doing it. Here we go. And we'll do one more right here. That was a little bit too long. Okay. Bend it over. So there's all our ends right here. While we're trimming things up, to get these to sit together on an angle, this area right here, this is one of the where the H came through right here. We're going to cut these little pieces out right here. Cut these two little pieces out because that'll give us a gap where we can get these two panels to stay together tight. We don't want any big gaps in them when we put them together. So we're just cutting the inside of that channel out. So you create this little effect right here. It's kind of like a little shelf. So when they stack together, they'll be stacked right on top of each other. And you can see I took out the brass tubing. The brass tubing runs right through here. Like that. And they'll let it spin. So this is the brass tubing. You want to be careful you don't get it there. But anyway, to solder these, if you don't have a drill vise and you want to be able to hold this up and down, I just took a couple pieces of old 2x4 and I put it right here, and I took a piece of our form wood right here, put it on here with a couple little bungee cords, and I can just slide that in there like that. You can take and brush it up a little bit. Take and flux it. And just take your soldering iron, take and tin it. And we're just going to solder that shut right there. There we go. We can come over this other side too. We can just tilt this through a little bit if we want. Okay, now I'm going to take that on a piece of 80 grit sandpaper and file it down or sand it down to match that. I'll do the other side off camera. We don't want to make this go real long. And then when we come back, we'll show you how these are all going to stack together. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, well, I'm back real quick here. So I just want to show you here how we cleaned up the edges here on the corners. And so that just kind of cleans it up a little bit to make our piece come out nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get ready to set up, and we'll stack these all together to make our spinner. So anyway, hopefully you've been following along, and I'll get that all set up, and when I come back, we'll take and slide these onto our brass tubing. We're going to hold that wire and brass tubing in our drill vise so we can stack these on an angle. And we're going to do exactly the same thing as we did with the other bow tie. We're going to put them at a 30-degree angle all around. So it should be kind of an interesting looking project. So we'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back. So we got all of our bow ties done. So these are all the ones that are on the angles. So now it's time to put them together as a set. So we'll just push this stuff out of the way here, get out of our way. And I'm going to take our drill vise here, I'm going to bring this in here, right about here. I've got our brass tubing on here now. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to make this go, I think we'll make it go down here. We're going to slide that on. I don't want to do it the other way. Whoop. Got the camera right above us, so I just kind of dinged it there. So we're going to take this and pull this down. So this is going to slide down on there just like that. And then we're going to take the next one and we're going to put it in here. We're going to take and slide it down. Get it on here and slide it down. Going to work it back and forth just a little bit. And we'll let it sit in here just like that. So then we'll get out our triangle now, and we'll match this up and make sure it's with the at 30 degrees right here, this area right here. So I'll be back in a second, I'll get that. All right, so we've got our 30-60-degree triangle. So this is the area that we're going to work with right here. So we're going to just set it in here, and we're going to make it go right there. So that's where we want to go. And we're going to solder it right here where they cross over each other. So I'll get my wife out here real quick, and she can give us a little shot of that so you can see what we're doing here. And I found it's best to solder them here rather than up here, because if you solder them up here, sometimes it gets a little bit messy and they don't come down on top of each other just right. So we'll set it right in here and we'll solder it, and then we'll put the next one on. So we'll be back in a second. All right, well, I've got my wife out here now. She's going to help us here a little bit. So this is the area right here where we're going to solder, this area right in here. So we can just take and check it here again, check it with our 30-60-degree triangle, make sure that's where we want it, which it is. So then we're going to take and flux this just a little bit. Right there. Stay out of the picture here. And we're going to take our iron. And I'm just going to take and tin it right here. Come on. I'm going to hold this down, and I'm just going to set it right in here against this. And I want to make a joint just like that. So that ties those two together. So then the next one, we'll take it, and we'll take it and set it on here. Get it to slide down. Right here. And now this one here is that we're going to check it here for 30 degrees. That's good right there. And this is the area we're going to solder right here. Here again, we'll just take and tin our iron. I'm going to hold it. And that gives us the start of it. So I'll go ahead and stack the rest of them on here. I'll come back and show you. I'll go on the backside there and solder where it comes together also. But I just wanted to show you where these solder together rather than try to do it on the tube. I noticed on the other video that I did it on the tube, and when I got it a little solder up high here, I couldn't get it all the way down, and I had to kind of clean it up a little bit. So I think this is a better way to do it. All right, we're back. We got it all put together now, so it came out real nice. I got it all washed up here. I cleaned this up with Dawn soap and a Scotch-Brite pad, so it came out really nice. The only thing I think I'd do a little bit different on this is where these two come through here. I think I'd leave these a little bit longer on the next set. These two pieces of H came right here, so that you'd have some more room to solder here. This gets a little goopy looking right in here, but we're going to put patine on this, and we're going to use our black stove polish, so those will pretty much disappear. But so it came out really nice. So all right, well, we got it all patined, and now we've got our polish all taken off of it. By the way, with this crazy angles and so forth, getting the black stove polish off of it, I can't lie to you, was quite a chore. So it might have been better to just. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to put our shaft in here. Here again, this is our 3/32 piano wire. Used a torch and made a loop on the end of it with our swivel. And we're going to use our little set collars again. So right on the top here, we're going to just take our little 3/32 set collar. That one there's lost its set screw. We'll put it in here. Then we're going to come down here right at the top of our tube. Here again, our 1/8" brass tube. And we're going to just take and slide this in here. Slide it down to the end here. I'll come down here at the end real quick and show you what we're going to do down here. Here again, we're going to put our little decorative ball on there. Let me see if I can find our little set screw here. Okay, I'll have to get another one here. So I like to double up on the bottom here, just because of the fact that I'd hate to have this, this set collar come off the end here and have it slide off the end. So we're going to put a double one on here. So I'm going to take this first one, set it on here. Then I'm going to put a little decorative ball on here. The decorative ball has been bored back so that it'll hide the set collar so you won't see that. Then I'm going to take the other set collar and I'm going to put it right here on the very end. Right here on the very end of our piano wire. By the way, if you're looking for this wire, most people refer this to as piano wire, but the actual name of it is music wire. So if you talk to a hobby store and you tell them you're looking for piano wire, they may not know what you're talking about. So ask them for music wire. It's made by a company called K&S Precision Metals. And most hobby stores carry it because the people that do the radio-controlled boats, cars, and planes, they use all of this type of thing for their projects. So it's a good place to look for it. There's a few stores that carry these products, but they only carry like 12-inch links. And so if you're looking to make a bigger project like this one, you're going to have to go to the 36-inch length piece of tubing and wire. So after we get that on there, I'm going to use the short side of this Allen wrench to get a little more torque on it, sure they're tight. I'm going to push it up there tight. And then down here at the top, here again, we're going to just set this up with a little bit of end play in it so that it can go ahead and spin. So I'll pull this up here. Pull this back just a little bit so there's a little bit of end play here. That's too tight there. Right there is what we're looking for, just a little bit of end play in it. So if you think about this, the spinner can actually spin on the brass tubing and the music wire, or it can use the swivel to spin on also. So it's kind of got a double bearing surface there for it to spin on. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take it out. We'll put it up in the patio, and we'll take a couple pictures of it, and the video will be all done. So I hope everybody's been following along on this and has enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel if you would, and we'll see you on the next project. All right, we've got it outside now. We've got it on our mechanical spinner right now. There's no wind out here, so there's nothing to help it turn by itself. So anyway, as I said before, it's been a fun project. Hope everybody followed along. If you looked at the other bow tie and now you look at this one, send me a quick comment and tell me which one of these you like the best. This is the bow tie with an attitude. So thank you for watching. See you on the next project.